night. Coming to you live from Mr. Sam's backyard. This is Wednesday morning. And nobody's here to see that part. All right, so I was hoping this would be a nicer background, but it's kind of a cloudy day today, so it's a bit of a haze above me. But today we're going to talk about something that I really love, which is dandelions. And I can see that Miss Jen is already here. Hello, Miss Jen and Mr. Jace. So, as always, with these Facebook Live videos, I'm going to go through and I'm going to talk about my topic, which today is dandelions. And if at any point throughout the day you have questions, or throughout this video, you have questions, just put them in the comments and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And if I can't answer them, then what I do is I go look up the answer after I'm done, and then I'll go back to this video and I'll put a comment, or I'll reply to your comment in there. That way you can get the answer to your question and I can learn a new thing as well. Hello, Red Rabbit and Eileen. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Allegra. Gang's all here. So let's get started. So dandelions. Dandelions are wonderful. Lots of people consider them to be weeds, which makes me sad. But I mean, it makes sense because weeds are plants that grow out of control in places that we don't want them to, and especially on our lawns and stuff. So in terms of not wanting them to grow in the lawn, I can understand that. But they actually are very beneficial to us, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. And so if we learn that, then perhaps we can be a little bit more excited when we find them growing in our lawns. Allegra says, happy belated Star Wars Day. Yes. May the force be with you all. Hello, hello Maggie. Thanks for watching. All right, so how to identify a dandelion. So dandelions, I picked a few here. Unfortunately, I only got the heads. They're characteristic by their big, bright, beautiful yellow flowers. This is the part that has all the pollen. It really catches your eye. I think it's actually pretty beautiful to see a field just filled with these little yellow dots. And I'm really happy these guys opened up because they actually don't really open up on cloudy days or on rainy days. A lot of flowers do this when it's about to rain. They close up so that the rain won't damage them. Plus, the pollinators that come aren't going to be flying around in the rain. So, but speaking of pollination, once the plant is pollinated, those petals fold back in, and then it turns into this. So this is also the same plant. It looks completely different than our yellow flower here, but it's the same plant. Can it focus? I guess not. It's kind of cool. It looks like a crystal ball, I think. And all of those are seeds. There's probably, oh gosh, I don't know, hundreds of seeds in here. And seeds want to get as far away from their parents as possible, so their method of dispersal is through the wind. Oh, I got it all. Look at that. My dad's going to be like, did you just plant all those seeds? Yes, I did. So we have two ways to identify it so far. We have the yellow flower, and then we have the white seeds. But we also have the leaves. And the leaves, you can tell they're like heavily toothed like this. This kind of jaggedness is called a toothed edge. And actually that relates to their name. Dandelion comes from the French Dandelion, which means tooth of the lion. Pretty simple. But it's actually not what they call it in French. In French they call it pissenlit, which stands for bedwetter. And I'll get into that a little bit later. Hello, Celia. I'm talking about the French part here. Pissenlit. So yeah, so they're pretty easy to identify. There are some lookalikes, but the big giveaway would be the dandelion toothed edges of the leaves. So they are beneficial for us, and how? The first part is they're edible. Every part of a dandelion is edible, which is great. The the leaves are dandelions have properties in them, especially the leaves, that it boosts liver and digestive functions. It helps to clear out bad toxins, promotes bile production and stuff. It can also help your skin to glow, makes you look healthier. And after it clears all that out, it actually adds in good things, which I'll get to in a moment. But back to the French word pissenlit, bedwetter, it's because it's actually a diuretic. So it'll make you have to go to the bathroom. But again, like I said, it's clearing all that stuff out so that you can make room for the good things, which include vitamins A, B, C, D, potassium, even carbohydrates are in it. It's filled with all these good things. But unfortunately, it doesn't really taste that good. Especially the leaves are very bitter. So I wouldn't recommend just taking a whole handful of them and just like chowing down on them, unless you like bitter things. That's totally fine. But what I do is I break it up and I'll add it into salads. I've added it to homemade pizza. There are a whole bunch of recipes, and I encourage you to look them up. But yeah, I'll go ahead and take a bite here. I have a whole bunch over here. I'll show you in a moment. The last part that I'm aware of that can be eaten, sort of, well, it's more of a transition into drinking, actually. You can eat the flowers. Some people like to add the flowers to their salads as well as like a little accent. I don't eat them, but it's just a personal preference, I think. But you can. I think they also smell kind of nice too. But the flowers can actually be used to make dandelion wine. If you take a whole bunch, which of course they grow everywhere, you can ferment them and add sugar and stuff, but and make a dandelion wine. And I imagine it's good if it's done well. I've only had it from my uncle who made it, and it wasn't that good. But I imagine it's good. Maggie, I don't know what you're trying to say there with that. But inside these flowers is nectar, which is sugar. That's what attracts like the pollinators, like the bees and things. So that sugar, that nectar, is what's being fermented into the alcohol for dandelion wine, in addition to the sugar that you would add to it. So pretty cool. So that's a drink. So we've kind of transitioned over to drink here. And for that, I want to show you this. It kind of looks like your skin when you spend too much time in the bathtub. This is the root. This is part of the root. The roots actually go very deep. I wasn't able to get most of it here. I dried it out yesterday in my greenhouse. So the root, you can crush it up into like a powder and you can roast it, and then you can actually brew it like coffee. It even looks like coffee too. It should have that brown color. And again, it has the diuretic properties that the coffee does, but it doesn't have the caffeine. So if you want to avoid caffeine, but still want the other benefits of coffee, then you could try this. And if you're like, Mr. Sam, coffee is my life and I don't want to get rid of it, you can add it to your coffee too. You still get the vitamins and things that the dandelion provides added to your coffee, and you don't have to give it up, Miss Jen. But it also can be, if you're not much of a coffee drinker, you can brew it in a tea, and I actually did that today. I have it here. So all those little brown dots on the bottom are just cut up dandelion root. I was hoping it would make the color look a little different, but it didn't. So it's a nice clear. And then I also put in some lemon balm, which is another essentially weed, and in the sense that it grows uncontrollably. It's in the mint family, so it grows very easily all over the place. But it has a very nice taste, and it actually helps to keep away insects. So it's good to have around. I'm going to give this a try. That's interesting. It has like the earthy flavors of the of the dandelion root, but also the sweet lemon balm background accent. I sound like one of those tea connoisseurs. I should drink with my pinky up. For everybody who's joined here, since I last said it, feel free to ask questions along the way as we go. I'll show you my little table here that I have set up. So all of this actually, all of this and then the roots are from 2 dandelions. This one was actually growing in our garden, and the garden is a nice place for it to grow because there's lots of fertile soil there that we add with our compost and stuff. So the dandelion was growing pretty well there, so I was able to get a lot. So I washed all this up yesterday, and I will add it to a salad later today for lunch or something. There's my tea, here's my petals, and the seeds. Yeah. So when you're foraging for food, and picking dandelions in your yard does count as foraging, it's important to remember that plants absorb everything in their environment, or almost everything in their environment. There's even been stories of Roundup getting into wine, into bottled wine, like it gets all the way through the process. So with that being said, you don't want to eat dandelions that are in yards or lawns or fields that have been treated with pesticides and chemicals and stuff like that, because they can go into you and you don't want that. Also, you don't want to eat dandelions that are on the side of the road, because it can absorb like the oils and stuff that drip off from the cars, or any of the harmful toxins and stuff. So I have an agreement with my dad here that in my backyard we don't add anything, so that I can eat the dandelions in the backyard. But the front yard, he's treated with a fertilizer, so I avoid it. Even though it's an organic fertilizer, I'm not entirely sure, so better to be safe than sorry. But of course, that's where all the good dandelions are growing, in the front yard. Sarah, what other meals can you add dandelions to besides salad? Have you tried it in an omelet? I have not tried it in an omelet, but that is a very good idea, and I wish you told me that an hour ago when I ate breakfast. Omelet works. I was thinking like a frittata or something. Anything that you would add greens to. Sometimes I like to add greens to quesadillas. Whatever you want. Whatever you put, salad or lettuce or a sandwich. Sometimes I even just eat it by itself because I don't really mind the bitter taste. So maybe I'm weird though. Yeah. So also the oils from a dandelion can actually be used in a salve, like a lotion almost. And I've been told that it helps to relieve muscle tension. And I tried it. I made, I don't have it with me because it's at my apartment actually. I made a dandelion lotion that I I rub it on my neck because I have tension in my neck. And I found that it's kind of worked. There's a good possibility that I messed something up with it, but you can buy these things professionally made, and they would work pretty well. But disclaimer, dandelion oil actually smells really bad, to me at least. I thought it smelled really bad. So I took the oil after it was done soaking in the dandelion, and I soaked it in lavender, and then it smelled really good. So, you can add those things. Lavender helps to relax your body as well, so just any kind of relaxing thing would be good. Speaking of good, this is good. All right, so the last thing I want to say about dandelions is that they're, in terms of uses, they also can be used as a symbol of persistence. A lot of weeds can grow even in very difficult areas for them to grow. Like they've been known to grow around rocks, or if they've been trampled on, they can still grow back. It's part of the reason why they grow so well in our lawns, is because the lawn grass doesn't like to be stepped on, and so it dies, and so plants like dandelion come in, or plantain, and fill those spaces because they don't mind being stepped on. And so with that in mind, dandelions can be used as a symbol of persistence, meaning that in tough times, you can still grow through it and be like a dandelion and push through and stay beautiful and help each other out. Those are the signs that dandelions show for me, I think. All right, I'm just gonna keep on eating it. I'm gonna sign off from here, but before, we're gonna go check for eggs, because that's what we do. All right. And I'll let you guys know, while I'm walking over here, that you guys should stay tuned for next week, because I have a surprise for you all. Not even Miss Sarah or Miss Jen know, and they won't know. All right. Here we go. I'm at the eggplant. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna put this stick down. Eliza, you're always here when I'm filming. All right, well, I'll just take these ones. Keep on doing your thing. Close off here. We'll see if any of the other girls want to say hello. That's Elphaba. Hello, Elphaba. I guess that's it. All right, so if you have any more questions about dandelions or anything related to nature, honestly, you can put a comment down below, and I'll look over it over the rest of today and probably tomorrow as well. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.